Hello everyone and welcome to today's presentation on ransomware attacks, trends, prevention and recovery. I am Chaitanya Kharya and I am excited to delve into the complex world of cybersecurity with you. Let's get started. Now let's see what is ransomware. Ransomware attacks involve malicious software that encrypts a user's files and attackers demand a ransom in exchange for releasing these files. To understand how this happens, we will discuss the common methods used by attackers, such as phishing emails, malicious attachments, and exploiting vulnerable softwares. Okay, so now let's see how it's done. Step 1 is infection. Attackers use methods like phishing, password guessing, email attachments, etc. to infect the user's host system. Then, step 2 is locating the target files. They try to locate the files that may be sensitive to the user or may be required by them to continue their work like in an organization. Next, they encrypt the target files so that they become unusable and unreadable by the user. Then they send a ransom note in the form of a pop-up or a mail to the user which they have hacked. This ransom note includes the data about how to make the payment and what is the amount of the payment. Next step is the ransom payment that is done by the user, after which the attackers may or may not release the files that have been encrypted by them. Now let's see some common malware vectors. So how does a malware reach into a user system? It can be done through trojans, worms, exploit kits, malicious macros, or fileless ransomwares. So, trojans and worms are basically malwares where a software is sent to the user which they download on the system, and in the backend it has malicious software which will corrupt their system. Exploit kits are pre-made softwares which have been made by other hackers who are more uh, involved into such kind of activities, and these exploit kits can be used by novice attackers to hack into other systems. Now let's see some delivery methods. So phishing emails is a very common way where the attacker can send promotional emails or other spam emails along with some attachment or a malicious link, which can then be used to download malicious software into the user system. They can use malvertising, which is malicious advertising on web pages which they know are commonly visited by the user which they are attacking. So now let's see some commonly targeted sectors. So mainly any sector where a huge amount of data is used and it is necessary for the working of an organization, that is a very good target for any ransomware attack. So obviously healthcare and finance and banking are the top targets along with government and public services because they all require large amounts of data and sensitive data is stored. So encrypting these files will cause a sense of urgency in the organization to pay the ransom to get access back to their files. Now let's see the evolution of ransomware throughout the years. Earlier, ransomware was very straightforward. It was just encryption and decryption basically. But nowadays, after much evolution, what has come to be is that some ransomwares are present where the ransomware automatically deletes files from the user after every hour or so, after a preset amount of time, so that it causes a sense of urgency to the user to get their data back and to lose less amount of files and to protect their data. Some recent ransomware attacks were in February 2022. Nvidia was attacked and 1 TB of data was stolen, and a ransom of nearly 1 million was paid, as well as a share of an unspecified fee. Similarly, In February 2023, Reddit was hacked, where attackers obtained unauthorized access to corporate documents, code, and some systems. 80 GB data was stolen, and ransom amounting to 4.5 million was paid. Some prevention techniques. So, we'll cover some essential measures such as employee training, regular software updates, network security, email filtering, and backup and disaster recovery. These proactive steps are crucial to fortifying our defense against evolving ransomware threats. So, training employees and spreading awareness among them is very important because a source of liability for any organization is some human error or mistake caused by an employee. They can download any malicious software onto the company systems, which can affect uh, other workstations in the company as well. Also, network security, email and web filtering are also very important, because if emails which are considered to be spam or have malicious content in them are blocked from ever getting into the organization, then they can prevent ransomware attacks at the root. Also, backup and disaster recovery is very important, because having a backup ensures that even if a ransomware is installed onto the system, they can just go back to the previously secure backup that they have and recover that, so that they don't have to pay the ransom, and it can easily help them get back their sensitive data. Next are some recovery methods. First step in recovery is having a good incident response plan. An incident response plan defines what the response of the cybersecurity team should be to any kind of attack to the system or to the organization in the cyber world. Next is the forensic analysis, to analyze what all systems have been affected by the malware, and how did it get into the system. Then they isolate the infected systems so that it does not spread onto other parts or other servers of the organization. Then negotiations are made to try to compensate the attackers in any other way other than paying the amount, or getting the fees down a little bit so that they don't have to pay that much. Then they rebuild their systems which have been infected, and the rebuilding systems is easier if you have a secure backup which you can go back to, because then you have that data already which can just be brought back, which can be just recovered. Then is the post incident evaluation. It is a very important step, because in this evaluation a company can see how good their incident response plan was against that particular attack, and according to that they can change their plan to better handle the next attack that may come onto their systems. So, as we conclude our presentation, I want to emphasize the importance of staying informed and proactive in the face of evolving cyber threats. The digital landscape is dynamic, but the right knowledge and strategies, we can navigate it securely. Thank you for joining me today.